there was never a point in my life where I would be what people were expecting me to be. So maybe for some people I think this is actually a positive thing, but I definitely was and I am suffering a lot because of that, because I could never be what people expected me to be, because I was born a people pleaser and I always wanted to please everybody, and I was just failing miserably my whole life in doing that. Like, before I was even born, my parents couldn't tell if I was a girl or a boy because I was always with my legs crossed. Like, it was never possible to see what I was. I don't know, I feel like every aspect of my life I could recognize the fact that I am not satisfying what people would expect from me or want from me. And then I was born, and I have an older sister. She's 5 years older, so everybody was comparing us in the family. So my sister was like very chilled baby and very chilled child, and like very nice, intelligent, well developed girl. And I was like crying a lot, having like crying a lot as a baby, which was very annoying. And then this was the problem. And then as I grew up, like, I remember like when I started to learn how to ride, then people would say how ugly my riding was, and say like, your sister has the most beautiful riding, why is your riding so ugly? I don't know. And then there was also a lot of moments, like, because my sister was very outspoken, she was so confident, and I was like in my own world. I was very introvert. I'm still an introvert, but I learned, like, now I'm over 30, so I learned how to come out of the shell. But I was a big introvert, and then this was also a problem, because didn't speak much. I don't know, like, it's not so open. And then I started going to school, and I was a very annoying child for the adults and in my class. I remember I was very funny, like I was always making jokes, and I was disturbing the class, and yes, just overall acting out, being a class clown. So that wasn't good either in the school. Yeah, so pretty much, like, I just know that my whole life I was being some sort of, I don't know if I could say, like, a failure. Maybe that's too harsh, but this is also something that I feel like that was happening. Yeah, so it was a failing school. I had very bad grades. I had very little interest in listening to what the teachers wanted to teach me. They were trying to get a diagnosis out of me, but they couldn't at the time, because in the 90s or in the early 2000s, they didn't really know what was going on many types of mental illnesses, or just like atypical people. I think they had no idea, or very less. So everything was just general. They were just giving every problem child Ritalin. Is this how we say it in English? We call it Ritalina in Portuguese. Children were gave just to chill and be quiet and sit. But since my parents even took me to make some tests and see my brain waves, and everything was fine, so I wasn't getting any medication. But my teachers were so angry because I was impossible to work with. Yeah, so they didn't know what was happening at the time. And then there's a bunch of stuff that happened in my life. Yeah, like someday I realized I could be a good student if I want to, because at some point I just gave up, because everybody was telling me, you're such a bad student, you're such a bad kid, you're not intelligent, and you are disrupting everything. So I just took it as the I just thought they were right, because they were adults that were around me and they knew better than me. So if they tell me I was bad, so they were probably right, because they are smarter than me. That's what I thought. So I believed them, and then I lived my life like a bad student and a bad kid for a long time, until saúde, meu amor, until I realized that I was not. And then I started to apply myself, like to really put on the work, and I was one of the best. I was top 5 in my class before finishing high school, just because I wanted to. And this made me really angry, because I was in shock that I believed that for so long, that I was a bad student and this was my life. So I there was no other way to be. And this made me very angry. So, but at least I channeled it in a positive way, because I didn't kill anybody, I didn't kill myself. I just took all this rage to apply myself, to study, get better grades, and then it was very satisfying to get the good grades. At least then I changed the narrative in my family as well, because before I was just overall like failure, weird girl. I was a very boyish as well. I am still nowadays, like not really the most feminine person, which was also a problem in the 90s, the early 2000s. Yeah, I don't know. It's just overall, at least, like I said, I changed the narrative in my family, because it was a very negative narrative about me, and I was applying myself so hard. And then I got to university. It's a very good public university in Brazil. The public universities are often better than the private ones. So I got to a very good public university at the best of my region. So my family was very proud, and they were very cocky about it. Like, yeah, look, our kid, she's so smart. And then at least my family was like now changing the narrative from like I was a dumb kid with no potential and like weird features to now at least being a smart kid that was getting things done. So this was nice. Although it had a really high price on my mental health. And then I was, getting a lot of weird diseases that no one had an explanation for because of my levels of stress. So as I was getting sicker and sicker in the university, I was like asking myself, why was this happening? And then I learned that I was not a machine and that I needed to, like, because I could completely shut out basic needs, just numb myself from my basic needs, like going to the bathroom or eating or drinking water. Which nowadays, with the information that I have, I just came to understand more about myself. Especially because I had a job. I had a job like helping integrate a kid with autism to a class, to a school. I just did it for 4 months because I couldn't do it any longer. And in this short period of time, actually right in the beginning, I came to realize very quickly that I was the same as the kid. We were the same, me and the kid, we were the same. Like, and I never thought about it. Like I was searching for a diagnosis my whole life about myself. I used to joke a lot about it, like still waiting for my still waiting for my diagnosis, because it cannot be that I am a normal person, and that because I don't really function very well. So I don't know. Maybe it's mean to put it like this, but that's just the way that I can express myself about it at the moment. So I was just realizing that this kid with autism was like me, the same. Like, he had, of course, his own features and problematic, but it's a very, very similar situation. And then it was a very hard, it was a big crisis for me to be in a place like that, because I was the one responsible for force this kid into a box that would fit the system of the school system. And I'm against doing something like that, actually, in my core. But I thought maybe I could do something positive working with something like that. Maybe I could have a different approach. Maybe I could help. Maybe I could be nice. It could be nice because I'm very empathic and I'm nice with children. I don't know. I have a good connection to kids. I don't know. The thing is, it was so painful for me to watch him go through the same problems I went through. And actually, I never really gotten into the school system. Like, yeah, sure, I managed to survive through the school system, but I wouldn't say I was integrated to the school system the right way. It was like the bare minimum, the least I could do to survive the school system. It was so painful and so negative, and then to watch this kid go through the same stuff, very similar stuff, and then being the one that should be the agent that was going to press him into this mold was being very difficult for me. But at least I think this job helped me realize, yes, of course, this job surely made me realize that I am definitely a person, at least with autism. Probably, how is the name in English? TDHD? TDHD? Because in German it's ADHS. So I'm not sure at the moment, but I mostly for sure have those both things. And it's fascinating and horrifying to realize that I am like this. But at the same time, it just makes so much sense and makes my life easier, sort of like in a way that I deal with myself, because now I know that I have to stop trying to pretend to be normal and to be functional, because I am not functional and I'm not normal. And I don't say this in a place of like wanting to be something special. I think it's just like the way it is. It's just a fact, and it's important to acknowledge the facts, because it's important to know the reality of the facts. And I've been masking myself my whole life, pretending to be something that I'm not, pretending to be functional, and not even managing to fool anyone but myself. Maybe I think I was the only one that was really believing that I was functional, because I am not. And I think that's okay. Well, I think that's okay for other people. Like for myself, I think that's unacceptable, and I still try to force myself into the molds that were given me a long time ago, which is very sad and makes me very frustrated and very sad. Yeah, so I am trying to work on that, because I would never expect someone to be something they're not. So why do I do this to myself? It's a good question. I thought about doing a video like this for such a long time, and then there was always so many excuses in my head why I shouldn't, or wasn't the right time, or it wasn't the right camera, it wasn't the right angle, it wasn't the right language. I was trying to do videos in Portuguese, which is my actual language, and then I was trying to do videos in German, because it's like the second most spoken language at the moment. And then I thought, yeah, and then I was always giving up. Like I was recording some stuff and then giving up, and then just, yeah, numbing myself and being desperate with my existential crisis. But now I think I got a good idea, which is recording doesn't matter how, doesn't matter when, and doesn't matter in which language, but I would prefer to speak English because it's the language that is my passive language somehow, like the language that I consume the most when I'm alone, and which I spend the most time then listening to. So I thought, well, this is a common field. If I am making videos in English, then it's like the same stuff that I am consuming in English as well. So, well, I just thought this would be the right language. Maybe this is the language which helps me the most. So that's it. I am definitely a person with autism and TDHD, I think. Yeah. I'm trying to work myself through it, understand myself and accept myself, which is not easy, but it's important. Yeah, and I was also thinking, why should I even post something like this, or why should I even record something like this? But I must say, this is very therapeutic to do, and I benefit a lot from people that are doing exactly the same on the internet right now. So that's why this is just a life from my brain, and I am just choosing to ignore it and be brave and post unedited. Yeah. So I hope this resonates with you and it makes sense. Maybe it can make your life somehow better. I know many people accomplish that for me, for sure. So yeah. Till next time. Bye. Bye.